Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Friday, April 15th. So the moon is going to be in Libra all day. We are definitely in the full moon window as we build towards the peak energy of the full moon in Libra tomorrow afternoon. So we have a lot of energy floating around here today, 14 different aspects, which is kind of large compared to the average about 10, 12 that we experience on a busy day. And of course, on the low end, around 5 or 6 on a quiet day, 14 is pretty busy. 9 of them involve the moon. So right out of the gate, the moon bumps into Mars. Mars, of course, just moved into Piscean energy late last night. This is taking place at 3:33 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is a divine number. The moon and Mars are now really trying to get on the same page on what it is that we feel good about actually pursuing. Please take a minute to listen to Mars moving into Pisces, that whole astro forecast. It'll give you a better understanding on what kind of energy we're working with here. The moon in Libra, of course, just wants to find a grounding point between the extremes that we've been living in. We've had a lot of pressure built up in our mental plane because of Mars's aggressive energy ruling in Aquarian energy. That's that higher intellect of us kind of gaining ideas, gaining vision, gaining inspirations for the path that is to come. Now this moon in Libra is trying to balance things out, bring us to a grounding point where we can kind of sit with some of the revelations that we've had and really kind of stir about what feels good to us and what no longer does. The moon bumps into Uranus in a very positive way. Uranian energy, of course, in Taurus. Taurus and Libra, both ruled over by Venus, so there's a lot of common ground here. This Uranian energy is the great awakener. It likes to shock us. It likes to awe us. It likes to give us an aha moment of genius that just changes the game. And because the moon in Libra, very focused on relationships and balance and peace and love, because Uranian energy in Taurus, which is very focused on routines and relationships here in our physical realm, we have a lot of perspective changing. We have a lot of aha moments setting us up for the full illumination that does get revealed under the peak full moon energy. So there is a shift in perspective here. We are gaining clarity. We are seeing revelations in the way that we feel about ourselves in relation to the relationships with other people. The moon goes ahead and bumps into the true node, and although this isn't the most positive aspect, it does kind of put us in a situation where we have to question our intentions, our passions, our desires moving forward. Venus, the ruler of the moon in Libra, is in Pisces, very much in love with love. Very much just floating off into la la land, trying to have a good time, trying to escape the confines and restrictions of the current circumstances in our reality. Bumps into the true node in a very positive way. We're gaining intuitional insight on what feels good, especially where relationships are concerned, especially where our own emotions, wants, needs, and desires are concerned. The moon goes ahead and bumps into Saturn, though, in not the nicest way. Saturn, of course, the Lord of Karma, showing us new roles and responsibilities that we're kind of being pushed into as far as new soul contracts go. We have to boss up. We have to recognize where it is that we have to take control over certain elements of our lives, building new routines and foundations and systems and structures that will help us get to where it is that we desire to be. That Saturn energy is in Aquarius, which means that we're thinking very futuristically about where it is that we need to free ourselves from some of the relationship dynamics, some of the commitments, some of the roles and responsibilities that are currently sucking the life out of us here in our current circumstances. The moon does bump into Mercury, though, in not the nicest way. Let me just say this will likely be an outside situation, an outside activation, an outside trigger. Likely someone in your circle, a personal, very important relationship, bringing to light new information. Maybe they're speaking their truth. Maybe they're throwing a situation at you. There is new information coming forth. Mercury rules over information, rules over details. Mercury is the mental plane. Mercury is in Taurus. Tauran energy is about what it is we want to create, what it is we want to give birth to from here, especially in our day-to-day lives, where our routines are concerned, where our relationships are concerned, where our money matters are concerned. The moon, ruling over our emotions, ruling over our unconscious, ruling over our heart space. This is a disconnect between our heart and our head, because whatever new information is coming in is rattling us a little bit. Keep in mind, we're in the full moon energy where you have to expect the unexpected. This is definitely going to put us in an inner conflict with ourselves, make us not so sure of ourselves, and put us in a little bit of a situation where we have to think a little bit deeper than what the moon in Libra would prefer. The moon in Libra wants to keep everything in that shallow end, everything light and fluffy. We want everyone to get along. We want to do what is right for everyone. But this new information coming forth is definitely going to put us in a situation where we're feeling a lot more in the deep end than we are in the shallow end. Mercury actually goes ahead and semi-squares Neptune. Now, Mercury rules over our lower level intellect, our egoic intellect, where practicality and logic kind of rule. Because Mercury is in Tauran energy, we're very practical, we're very logical, we're grounded out. That earth energy of Taurus brings us back down to earth and has us only focused on our physical realms, on our physical circumstances. The problem here is that a semi-square is an inner conflict. It's a tug of war. It's an opposition, if you will. With Neptune, who is in Pisces, Neptune in Pisces is our higher self, our intuition, our soul self. This is going to be a tough aspect because our egoic mental plane is fighting our intuitional higher self, and we don't know which one to trust. The moon is going to bump into Venus in not the nicest way. Again, Venus ruling over the moon in Libra. Not the nicest way, in an aspect where the earlier situation that popped off, now we're really getting down to the nitty gritty of the relationships that are being illuminated to us, the power exchanges, the energy dynamics within it, and where it is that things are not balanced. Libran energy wants balance, but shows us where it is that we have to work our butts off to get that balance by living in extremes. The moon and Venus right now, we're uncertain on what it is that we want for ourselves, what it is that will make us feel safe and secure within ourselves, within this personal relationship. Something tells me that this earlier pop-off from a very close relationship of ours is now putting us in a position where we have to think about what is right for us. And this is a problem because the sun in Aries, because we're in Aries season right now, is about what it is that we want, we need, we desire as an individual. And the full moon that we're building up to in Libra is about what it is that the group wants, the team wants, the partnership wants. It's where essentially we put other people's wants, needs, and desires before our own. And this little confusing cluster F that we've just been presented is really going to put us in a situation to have to balance our own wants, needs, and desires with the wants, needs, and desires from the partnership, from the team, from the group. Now, the moon goes ahead and opposes Chiron. Chiron is the wounded healer. This suggests that we are really, really, really hurting here. We just acknowledged a wound. Whatever information popped up, whatever relationship is popping off is really hurting our ego, hurting our identity. We don't know who it is that we are without this person. We don't know who it is that we are without this label, without this role, without this responsibility, without this circumstance. The wounded healer, yes, illuminates where it is that we're at odds with our own wounds, but it also shows us where it is that we have the ability to heal them. What we're going to find out real quick with the moon bumping into Uranus in the not nicest way is that the confusion that is about to ensue on what it is that we need to do in order to make ourselves feel better and to kind of smooth things over in our physical realm with these relationships that are popping off is really going to do a number on our headspace. At this particular time, plans can fall through. At this particular time, a wrench can be thrown into those plans. At this particular time, there can be an unexpected event or information be revealed that is totally just going to put your head in a tizzy. Mercury semi-squares Jupiter. This semi-square is a conflict. Mercury, the mental plane, information, the way that we communicate and express ourselves, is in a tension conflict point with Jupiter, who likes to magnify and turn the volume up on anything that's currently going on. So not only are we at odds with our intuition because Mercury wants us to rely on the logical, practical side of the circumstances that are just popping off, Jupiter is turning the volume up on where this is an opportunity for growth, where this is an opportunity for an ending to take place, Pisces energy, to prepare us for a new beginning to take place, new soul contracts. Mercury being in Tauran energy, semi-squaring Jupiter in this way, is going to magnify that inner narrative that right now is not feeling so hot, not feeling so good, not feeling so clear. The moon bumps into Mars. Mars, of course, the god of war, ruling over our energy, our passion, our desire, even our anger. Mars is just fresh into Piscean energy, which means that we're a lot more passive aggressive than we would like to be. We're a lot more confused than we would like to be. And above all else, we have to sit within our soul space to figure out what it is that we want, need, and desire from here. The moon recovers and bumps into the true node and to Venus. This particular harmonious aspect does kind of suggest that the confusion that we felt earlier on in the day is now providing us an aha moment of clarity, a revelation, a moment of shifting in our perspective and in our heart space. First of all, the true node is showing us that, okay, I thought it out. I was unsure about it for a bit. I had hella confusion, thought my heart and my head was going to explode. But guess what? Now I can see clear as day what is pushing me further away from these current circumstances and what is pushing me closer to a brand new beginning, where love and peace and harmony rule all decisions and choices. The moon bumping into Venus, in Pisces, mind you, is saying, you know what? Intuitively, I know that this is the right move to make. Intuitively, I know why this situation is falling apart. Intuitively, I understand what it is that I'm being called to do. And in that moment, we have a clear understanding on what it is that we want, we need, we desire for ourselves.